All right, William, should we now show him the secret spot? Yeah? We said that we were gonna show him the secret spot, and then we said no. And then we said maybe. Should we tell him?
Yeah.
The secret spot?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Actually, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
guess not.
Yeah.
There's one. There's a scraping sound. When you hear the scraping, that's where you know you have one. And sometimes you have to dig deep because they're buried way down there, and sometimes they sit right on the top. So if you feel a little scrape like you're hitting a rock, that's when you want to stop and start digging. There's another one. See, this one's a little deeper. I gotta dig for this one. There it is. So we're on Assateague Island. That's where we're at. We took our kayak and paddleboard out to just a area that's not commonly visited. You can pretty much clam anywhere you want around Assateague. They have different spots that will tell you where to go. But keep in mind, if anybody's ever, if there's a map that tells you where to go, somebody's already been there probably 100,000 times. So we try to find areas that nobody else has really gone to, and that's where they are. If you pull into Assateague on the, I think it's your second right, there's an area that says that it's a picture of a clam that tells you where to go. That's clammed frequently. And then another big one that people go to is by the Verrazano Bridge, right at the beginning of Assateague. That's always a common one too. So if you want a good chance of getting some, you have to go out where nobody else is. Like this. Here's another one. Now for keeper clams, they have to be 1 inch. From here to here has to be 1 inch, and if it is, it's a keeper. So the clam rakes that we use, you can get them at any tackle shop or Walmart too, but here's what they look like. So it's pretty basic, and you just put it on the ground like this and you just walk, and as soon as you feel the scrape, you start digging like that. That's a big one, huge one. There's one right here. I'm gonna let William get it. You can hear it scrape. Show everybody your water shoes. There you go. We all wear water shoes.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's in the water out here. And we want to be out here a long time. We don't want to get our feet cut up. Oh, a broken bottle. That's why we wear water shoes. So here's my trick. I just walked and I just think I found one. So I'm going to take my clam rake and go about 6 to 8 inches past it and then scrape it again. And I'm going to try to feel for it. So it's right there. So now I can dig down and I can try to pull it out. There it is. Pretty good. All right, clam keeper. Got one.
Finally got one.
We've been out here probably about 45 minutes, and I have around like 15 or 16. How many clams do we get, William? Do you know?
5.
5?
Way more than that.
Way more than 5.
10.
Nick counted 12 at one point.
11.
I don't know. How many did we get?
12.
12?
Or 35.
35? I don't think we got 35. I'd say we got probably close to 20.
That let me pedal. I think I can go faster.
The total is 25. We got 25 clams, so I'm going to put some of this cornmeal into, it's just cold water. It's all rinsed off. All the clams are rinsed. I put that in there. And the goal is to get the clams to sort of spit out the sand that they have in there. So the cornmeal and the fresh water will kind of make them spit out what's in there. And I'll let that sit for a couple hours, and then I'll put them into a boil, and then after that should be ready to cook. All right, so for the catch and cook portion, I've got just regular panko breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs. I've got pepper, a green pepper. You can use whatever kind of peppers you want. That was one that we got from the garden, so I'm going to use some roasted red peppers. But normally I just do a couple green ones. I don't have a whole lot on hand, so that's all I'm going to use. 1 pound of bacon. We've got garlic powder, onion powder, Old Bay, and some black pepper. So I'm going to cook the bacon, and then after that I'll start boiling the clams, and I'll show you that. All right, portion wise for the seasoning and the breadcrumbs, I have 2 cups of panko, 2 cups of Italian, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of Old Bay. Now here's the catch with the clams. You have 2 parts of the shell, the top and the bottom, or whatever you want to call it. So if you catch a dozen, you're stuffing both sides, so it's 24. So we have 25, so I'm going to be doing 50 sections. And then from there, I could freeze them, freeze them, and then I'll let them sit for about 24 hours in the freezer, and then put them into a food saver, and then vacuum seal them. And then I have clams for a while. Here's all the peppers that I got. I cut those up, and I only used almost the full jar, but there's still some left. So that looks about good. The good news is you can pretty much use whatever you want. If you want to put onions in there, you can put, people have put parsley in there before. You can really put anything you want, but these are just the main things that I like, and it seems to taste the best. That one's open. That one's still closed. That one's still closed. So I'll leave those. This one's open. That one. All right, so out of 25, I had 24 open. This one did not, so this one goes into the bait pile, and we're not going to use that. So I'm going to let these cool off and then cook everything else. All right, after all the clams are boiled and opened, you take the clam out, pull off that little piece that goes in the junk pan, and then peel the shell apart. And then take your shell and put it in the shell pile. And you do that for all of them. All right, next, after all the clams are pulled out, just take them all and chop them all up into pieces. We got everything is all done. Now we're gonna start adding everything in, and we should be good. All right, here we go. I'm gonna turn this heat on. I'm putting it in a large pan. I'm gonna pour my bacon grease in there. I'm gonna do all of it. Again, you don't have to. You can just do a little bit. It's not gonna make that big of a difference. What I'm putting in here is 2 cups of hot water. You can use more, you can use less. I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I have my clams and I have my bacon. And my spatula. All right, let that warm up, let it get pretty hot. Then we're gonna throw the bacon in. Throw in, we'll do the peppers. We'll just start dumping everything, why not? Do those. The clams. So I've got all that. What? You want some? The breadcrumbs. The seasoning. So all that's in, and I'm going to start stirring it. Pour in the water. I'll start with 2 cups. I could add more if I need to. What you're looking for is a paste. You want it to be kind of pasty. It's got to sort of stick together. You're going to need more water, probably another cup. Put it back on the heat. Once everything is all together and you've got your sort of like mush, I guess is the best way to call it, then you start putting it all inside the shells. So right here is the consistency that I'm looking for. It's all sort of binded together. Parchment paper, put it over my pan, and then I'm going to start stuffing all the clam shells. After I stuff them all, I'm going to take that and put it into the chest freezer that I have outside. And then one by one, I just take I'm going to use a spoon. Put it in the shell, and then that's it. So part of the heating and serving, pretty much all you're doing is just pull them out of the freezer, let them defrost, and then throw them on the grill until they're warm. I don't really suggest microwaving them or putting them directly on when they're frozen. Just let them defrost for a little bit. The main reason is if you put the shells directly on the heat, like in the microwave or directly on the grill, it'll crack the shells. All right, last clam. So I get this one. The best way I like to eat it is with homemade tartar sauce, or any type of tartar sauce, really. It's all really good. All right, so there's my clam. I just took a dill pickle. It's just one that I made. I make pickles in the garden, grow the little pickling cucumbers, and then turn them into pickles. So I'm going to do that. Add my pickle. I'm adding in some onion powder. garlic powder. And I like celery salt. A lot of people don't, but it's always, I don't know, I like it for some reason. One of my favorites. And of course, Old Bay. Always have to have Old Bay. Then put in some Worcestershire sauce, just a sprinkle. Some lime juice. Again, just a little bit. You're supposed to do lemon, but I don't have lemon juice, so lime it is. Stir it around. And now I eat it. Wow, that's really good. So there it is, my stuffed clams, catch and cook that we did today. These were awesome. They turned out great. I'm going to freeze them and then we'll get to enjoy them over the winter. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. See you later.